Okay, so what you see in front of you is a medley of many different types of vegetables and different pastas. And what we're doing today is we're doing a medley of organic edamame fettuccine from Seapoint Farms. I got this at the Stater Brothers grocery store. We also are going to use, they're running away, Royal Blossom rice noodles, and we're going to use about half a container of that. That'll take care of our noodles. Here we're going to use, these are organic crookneck squash from our garden. We're going to use all these. We're also going to cook these cucumbers that are also organic from our garden. We're going to use this on the bottom. That'll be the first layer that goes in the Instant Pot to protect the food. It's a white onion. We're going to flavor it with organic carrots and organic celery, also purchased at Sam's Club. We're going to add light side smart sausage. These are Italian flavoring. We're going to use this organic corn. So we're going to show you the process how we're doing this. So this is just going to be called Fresh Organic Medley. Come and watch how we cook this food. Welcome to Healthy Vegan Living! First thing you do is you plug it in. The next step, you take the lid off and just put it in a safe place. So this is clean. The very first thing you do, if you're not going to use oil, if you're going to use oil, you can skip this step. You don't have to use as much onion if you're going to use oil. I don't use oil, so this is what I use. Use your fancy dancy knife, cut off the ends. Split it down the center and take the outer dried layer of onion off. If you start to cry, wet your onion. And that's the end of that. Keeps the gases where they belong, away from you. Okay, you take a handful, I'm going to show you quickly, and you stick it inside. That's only half the onion, we have to get the other half done. Okay, so this is the other half of the onion. We're just going to cut it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, it's just your base. And then stick it all inside the Instant Pot liner. Next thing we do is we're going to put in the noodles. What I'm going to do with these noodles is I'm going to break them. So we put this right above the onion. Then we're going to open up the other container, organic edamame fettuccine. Now what's so cool about this is this has a lot of protein. Same thing, I'm going to break it apart. And this one breaks a lot easier than the rice noodles. You just want that like this. And it'll make another layer and it's going to have a chance to soak and cook correctly. Alright, right after that, what we're going to do is we're going to cut the cucumber. Watch this, I'm going to use the mandolin because it makes it so much faster. Okay, so what I did is I found a bowl, a fairly large bowl that's deep. And now these are all cut up. We're going to use these cucumbers and we're going to slice them this way. So next what you have to do is you're going to be working on the crookneck squash. So I take the tops off and the bottoms off. And these haven't been washed and I'm going to wash them in the sink. The next step we're going to do is we're going to peel this corn and we're going to pull the husk completely off. I'm strong enough to cut this and I stick it in the stew, but I don't eat this part. I'm using it for flavor. See? And then I put the corn in on top of that. Just kind of spread it, a nice little flavor. Now if you like corn, use more corn. Remember that all these recipes are not written in stone. It's vegetables. What you're trying to do is you're creating a medley of vegetables. And what we're going to do is we're going to peel them. I'm just going to peel a couple and I'm going to turn off the video and we'll go to the next step. Okay, the last layer is going to be celery. This is a brand new stalk of celery. We're going to take 4 of them off, of celery on the top. Like that. Now we have all our vegetables. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our single sausage of light Italian sausage, and I'm going to slice it in half. So. And again, and what I'm hoping is just to have a small little bit of this flavor, because we already have the edamame, which is giving us protein. This is just to add a little bit of flavor to it. I'm cutting this up in about 1/4 inch pieces. See? And so I'm going to add that on the very top. It doesn't need to be cooked. And usually the things on the top get a chance, don't get cooked as much. I'm not saying it doesn't get cooked, but it doesn't get hit with the water that we still have to put into this pot. Okay, so we're going to grab our sausage and we're just going to sprinkle it over the top. Just another way to be able to add even more protein to this meal, because we have a lot of vegetables in here. Okay, next for the seasoning. Now that was Italian seasoning. So what we're doing for seasoning is I'm going to use Italian seasoning. And this comes from Supreme Tradition. And it has thyme, oregano, marjoram, basil, rosemary, and sage. It's not that I don't have those things. I have them like here. But sometimes when it's all pre-mixed, it gives you a very nice, so we're going to do a nice mixture. I'm just going to sprinkle it over the top. And because I want this to be really heavy in Italian seasoning, because we have a lot of bland vegetables, I'm going to use 2 tablespoons. That's really a lot. Now instead of using the traditional sea salt that I always use, I'm going to use 1 large teaspoon of granulated onions over the top. Just and there it is right here. So that's all we're going to add in flavor. And most of this is going to be part of other meals. So this is like your base meal. But I think for tonight it's going to be a very nice meal. Alright, I'm going to turn this off. Oh. Okay, we're finished here. So, we have to add the water next. Now I'm making a stew. I want the liquid. So I'm putting 4 cups of water. And if I do a little bit over the top, it's going to push down the seasoning to the bottom where they need to be. You put the top on top. You make sure this is in the middle, not left, not right, right in the middle so you can seal. And next we're going to set up the timer. The information on the organic edamame fettuccine is that it's 3 grams of total fat, 21 grams of carbohydrate. It has no sodium, so this is a great if you're worried about your salt, and 24 grams of protein. Of course, it's got all kinds of other stuff on the bottom. And I've used this, it tastes very good. Let's talk about plastic. This is a plastic off of the bottles, the can that I like to drink. Every time I get one of these and I pull it off, I cut off all the circles wherever. So you see this. So that way, if an animal, because you never know if this is going to land in the ocean, you have no control. I'm hoping it doesn't, but you want to protect, you want to get in the habit of that. So you see there's no open link. Now over here there is, so I'm going to cut this off. So over here on the edge, I'm going through it, and look, there's a link there. So I'm going to cut that one off. So it doesn't get, no animal will grab onto it and suffocate themselves, because we have to have plastic to hold our drinks. Just something you can think about. Now the cool thing about the Instapot is if you make a mistake and you haven't turned on the timer, you can take the lid off like I'm doing here. Nothing has changed. And you can, I just wiped the top, put some, wash the top of this unsliced tomato, which I'm going to put in next. Because we need to have tomatoes in an Italian dish. You need to kind of like offset the base of all the vegetables with the tomatoes. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to pour this over the top, like so. Very little of this salsa. I'm just going to pour it around the edges. Okay, maybe about 1 cup to 2 cups. Yeah, I would say easily 2 cups of salsa. So about pouring a little bit of water in it, and we put this back on. And we're going to set the timer next. Okay, so what we're doing is we're going to cook this entire meal, all these vegetables for 5 minutes. Okay, so we're going to set the manual. It's down to 15, so. Is it really going to take 5 minutes? It's going to take a lot longer than 5 minutes. Just to bring the pot to pressure is going to take 5 minutes. Then it's going to cook for 5 more minutes. Then it's probably going to vent for 10 or 15 minutes. Alright, so it's starting its cycle right now because the on button is on, and we will see you towards the end. Okay, so the Instapot just finished. We're going to turn off the power. Now this is your vent button. You're going to leave that alone. We're going to let it vent, and then we're going to pull out the food out. So what happened here is I made this dinner and I didn't use enough water, and this is what happened. And even though normally the onions on the bottom has always helped me and protected me before, this time it didn't. Couldn't get the pot to seal correctly. I didn't really understand what was going on, and what it was is there was not enough water to come in from the bottom to take care and to seal the Instapot liner. And we thought at first it was this seal, but there's nothing wrong with the seal. It was just a matter of water. So that's something you have to consider about. So some recipes make it. And you know, I've never had a pot like this before in the entire year that I've cooked. And sometimes they don't make it. So I'm going to let this soak for a while, and hopefully we can get all of that stuff off so that I can do some more cooking. As for the meal, turn the pot on, it is, and press the sauté button. Now what you want to do is you don't want to make sure it's on high. You want to make sure the heat is in the middle. And you want to cook it for no more than 20 minutes. And the entire time that you're cooking it, you want to take the lid off. And you want to make sure you stir the inner pot. That way, the food won't stick on like what happened to me. That's something to always remember. Ah, you can see Star in the background. She's just making sure she gets her dinner soon. Anyway, thank you for watching, and it's another lesson learned. Okay, so what did I get? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 7 bags, and I'll be able to freeze this. And this will be a good base. It has a pasta. Plus, I have dinner tonight, so I think we did pretty well. What did I learn? I learned that if you use pasta in a pressure cooker, that 4 cups isn't enough. And especially, maybe putting the pasta at the very bottom wasn't the very smartest idea. Maybe I should have put more vegetables in between, and maybe use 6 cups of water. So in your experimenting, you're going to make mistakes like I did. You're going to burn some pans, and you just have to continue cooking and learn from the experience. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I hope I see you in my next successful video. Bye-bye.
If you like this channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.